When the stock made its run up to like 900 a couple of months ago, pre-quarantine, back when the world was normal, at least semi-normal, one of the things that I kept noticing, and this was after they posted that surprise gap profit quarter, was that call options were coming in aggressively. They were coming in at high strikes. When the stock was trading like 300, 400, there were call options coming in, long-dated call options too, like October 2020s and January 2021s, and they were coming in at like $800, $900 strikes. I was like, holy shit. And for some real cheese too. They were coming in at, $500,000 blocks, $1 million blocks, $2 million blocks, and it was just hammering day after day after day. And when I talk about Sanglucci in the opening to this shit, and we talk about the steam room and why following options flow is important, this is a reason. A lot of times options volume is noticeable. If somebody comes in and buys $20 million worth of Tesla stock today, you may not really even see it hit the tape, especially if they're good at buying it and they know what they're doing. If they have professional traders, maybe they're sitting on the bid all day, whatever. But you may not notice it. But when somebody comes in and starts swinging a big dick in the options market, it's very difficult to ignore. So this morning, as I sat down and was sipping my cup of coffee that I now make at home, also, by the way, Wawa brand coffee, and I came up to the computer, one of the first things that I noticed was that somebody had fired what Lucci would call a missile in Tesla calls, and I got an alert from somewhere. It may have been from Lucci, may have been from Wall Street Jesus, may have been from somewhere else. But I got that alert and I said, especially with the way that Tesla's been acting over the last week or so, which is going up despite the fact that the factory is shut down after the 88,000 delivery number came out. And if you need more color on that, you can check out Our Bullshit Economy Part 13 or whatever the fucking one was before this. The point of the matter is when I saw that, I said, we're going today. I said, Tesla's going. And I don't know why. I don't need an explanation. As a matter of fact, smart people that I know were sending me texts today, do you know why Tesla's up? To which I replied to all of them with the shrug emoji. Because who fucking knows at this point? Who knows? Does it need... First off, does anybody else find anything mysterious about the way that the stock trades? I mean, I'm not trying to make any kind of allegations here, but certainly going from 300 to 400 and then somebody sneezes and it goes to 900 overnight before crashing back to 400 over the course of 3 months or 4 months is not normal. I mean, we all know that it was some kind of short squeeze, but the question was, what were the market mechanics in place that made that short squeeze possible? Was it just a bunch of dumb fuck retail investors in the wrong place at the wrong time shorting the stock? I mean, that's certainly a possibility, and yes, you know that people that are long the cult of Tesla are the same people that are going to go in and buy the stock aggressively as it continues to go up. They're not exactly the takes them off the table type crowd. They're the, hey, it's at 700, it's definitely going to 900 type crowd. Or, hey, it's at 900, it's definitely going to 1100. Next thing you know, you have a day like we did that one day where, $100 falls out of the bottom of the stock in the last, 12 seconds of trading. You think about that in the context of where the stock was only 18 months ago when it was at, $170, $200 a share. That would have been a 50% fall in the stock or a 60% fall in the stock if the price was where it was 18 months ago. That's how big of a move that was. So there's nothing really normal about the trading, and I keep thinking about, and I really should do a better job of investigating this stuff before I do these podcasts. I don't know why, but my mind always goes back to that Cayman Islands entity or whatever it is that somebody brought up a while ago. And forgive me for not doing my research on this before I started the podcast, but Musk or Tesla has some kind of Cayman Island entity that plain sight Aaron over there, somebody looked into at one point, and it said, this has been set up to buy and sell options and all this other shit. Nobody really figured out what it was for. I can't stop thinking about that thing. I don't know what that is, and I'm not alleging that they're doing anything, but it's this thing that keeps coming into my mind every time Tesla has these wild swings. I mean, in essence, what happened here was they posted that delivery number a couple of days ago, and then you had them come out and say that they shut down the business after Elon Musk had a fight with the Alameda County Sheriff's Department, and they shut down Fremont, And now, oh, and by the way, that Kimball Musk story broke out, which we'll talk about in a second. And now all of a sudden there's a huge options buy and the stock tax on $100 a share. And I have smart people that are plugged into the thesis on the bull side and on the bear side, texting me, asking me if I know why the stock's up. I'm like, fucked if I know. I'm sitting around working on other shit all day. I'm not sitting around watching, Tesla trade. I mean, I happened to look at it after hours today and noticed that it was up another $20 in after hours. I mean, who the fuck knows? Where is it? Hold on one sec. It's at $676 right now. Okay, so it's about 7 o'clock Eastern now. So you're talking about 3 hours after the close, and the stock's up about $20 since the close. On what? On what? And why? I would love to know the market mechanics behind some of these moves. And I don't claim to know them, and I'm not claiming that anything nefarious is up, but certainly it's very interesting. I mean, maybe is it just a tightly held stock? Is it just that tightly held that, it has these big volatile moves? Or is it part of the volatility that the market overall is experiencing due to the coronavirus shit? Who knows? But certainly, look, I guess it's never really needed a reason in the past to go up, and maybe that's the same case today. Or maybe there's some shit brewing behind the scenes that I don't know about, Maybe Elon Musk put a fucking car on Jupiter today, or whatever his goals are as CEO. We launched a car and we got it into Neptune's orbit. Yeah, sir, but about the balance sheet. Well, as you can see, the car is circling Neptune, and I think we've done a pretty good job here. Sir, you're burning $1 billion a year. Well, we've got a rocket that comes down and lands on the same pad where we launched it from. Yes, well, Lockheed Martin was doing that 30 years ago. Yes, but I put a Model X on skates and drove it through a tunnel. Sir, they were doing that in England 30 years ago with buses. Yes, but not with neon lights like I have them set up. Onward and upward.